Welcome back, LayerX Bulls. With the recent downward pressure and the little scare we had to the downside with BTC, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people are finding this phase of the market to be quite tricky. I'm sure many of you are starting to have some doubts creep in terms of your investment thesis, and you start to question yourself into whether you believe the decisions you've made with your investment plan into Bepro Network and the wider LayerX ecosystem as a whole have been the correct plays, and whether or not your investments stand the test of time once we've gotten past the Bitcoin halving and we start to move into a more financially free phase of the market where we see economic expansion occurring much more frequently. And I would just like to say to you that you are not alone with these feelings. I can definitely sympathize with you. As much as it pains me to say, I am only human at the end of the day, and recently this phase of the market has gotten to me. However, this caused me to take a deeper look into my investment thesis and into the reasonings why I've been so confident my investments into the LayerX ecosystem will stand the test of time. And after my thorough research, I'm happy to be able to bring to you the exact things you need to hear to reinstill that confidence into your LayerX investments. So, Dr. Constar is here with your recommended prescription of copium to get your mindset back on the right track. We are going to cover some very important ideas that you need to have a firm grasp on in order to fully understand the LayerX ecosystem and the feedback loop that is occurring with all of the products, alongside some very exciting new developments that I have noticed with some certain names that have now had their first experiences with the LayerX ecosystem. Before we jump into some more LayerX specific ideas and points, I think it's important that we take a wider look at the broader crypto market and the market sentiment towards the crypto space. And now I'm sure many of you will already be familiar with this psychology of a market cycle diagram. And what's interesting is if you remove yourself as an emotional investor from the scenario and take a step back and take a look at this chart and you overlay it onto the Bitcoin chart, you might start to notice some slight similarities between the two. Now looking at this chart, I think it's fair to say that as investors within the crypto space, we have been exposed to a myriad of different emotions through this current market cycle. I'm sure there's many emotions on this chart that you can sympathize with a bit of recency bias towards the more bearish and bad feelings. So here we are on the Bitcoin chart. Any of you that were here during this phase of the market, this was the peak of monkey pictures going for millions and millions of dollars, as well as A-list celebrities promoting crypto projects that they had absolutely zero idea what they did. I think it's safe to say that everyone here was absolutely convinced they were all going to be millionaires. But then, like in the psychology chart, we did have a dip to the downside, followed by another uptick. This peak here, funnily enough, if you look at a lot of other leading indicators that typically signaled market cycle highs and other important moments in the market cycle, this peak actually didn't set off a lot of indicators. A lot of the prior indicators showed that this should have been the true peak of the market cycle. So maybe we shouldn't have gone as high as the second peak. But then what followed after this rally? A massive capitulation to the downside, which what we see here is pretty much what happened. It was ruthless. We come all the way down, just like with here, and then a little uptick, up we come, boom, straight back down. I don't know how you all felt around this area, around here, but this is when stuff was popping off on Twitter. I'm not sure if you can remember back to around this time in the market, but there was a lot of people that were very, very angry at certain figureheads within the crypto space, not to mention any names. But once again, we've seen a little uptick in the Bitcoin price. So if this chart, no matter how bro science it may be, if this chart is anything to go off, then like I discussed in my Bitcoin halving video, we could see one final push towards the downside. Now, I'm not sure if you all agree, but personally, I feel if we started to revisit some of these cycle lows once again, you would have some very, very depressed market participants. I think it'll be a very common phrase to hear that crypto is dead and that the last bull run was just a bubble. However, time and time again, like we've always seen, Bitcoin proves everybody wrong. But there is also a very important thing you need to understand about this phase we are in the market cycle, and that doesn't just relate to money. Yes, the money that is flowing into the crypto space isn't as substantial as it once was. However, that also goes for new market participants. I'd like you all to cast your mind back to before we entered this horrible bear market that we've been enduring for so long. Back to a time when the monkey pictures were going crazy and the celebrities were all touting about all these different projects. There were new crypto projects making headlines all the time, okay? There were new projects popping up left, right, and center. There was a new crypto project that was trying to fix almost any problem you could run into. And some of them didn't even solve any problem whatsoever. So, you understanding that this phase of the market is a really tricky one in order to get new eyes into the space are really going to start to really help you piece together some of the difficulties that the Bepro Network product itself is facing in terms of adoption, which has nothing to do with the quality of the product itself, more so that the market is sick. Let's put it simply, how does the Bepro Network product succeed? Well, the simple answer, there needs to be clients that have a demand for the product, which the TAIKAI platform is solving beautifully, might I add, but we'll talk about that more later on in the video. We need to have new projects that have a demand for outsourcing development of their projects, alongside being able to find new talent to onboard into their products. With the information that I've just given you about the phase of the market we're in, what part of the market cycle do you believe that this product fits the best? Well, when there's new projects popping up left, right, and center. The hardest phase of the market for the Bepro Network product to perform is right now. So, with that in mind, if the Bepro Network product was still a standalone project without being embedded within a larger ecosystem, this phase of the market could have been a real killer blow to the longevity of the Bepro Network product. But thankfully, as the Bepro Network product is such a profound and industry-changing product, we were acquired and embedded into the LayerX ecosystem, which has been an absolute lifesaver for the Bepro Network product. But before we jump into the structure of the LayerX ecosystem and how important it is that the Bepro Network product is embedded with such a successful and upcoming ecosystem, I'd like to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor of the video, which is me. I'm the sponsor of this video, okay? This channel is the sponsor of this channel. If you would like to keep up to date with the most relevant information and interesting ideas surrounding the LayerX ecosystem, then please make sure you follow this channel. This is the #1 place to find non-official, original LayerX content. If you're not familiar with my channel, and this is your first introduction with me, then welcome to the channel. If you're enjoying what you've seen so far, I already have a lot of very, very beneficial videos that will help you understand the LayerX ecosystem already on my channel. So please do not hesitate to look at some of my past content, and don't forget to leave your feedback within the comments of the video. So, like I said, a huge thank you to today's sponsor, me. So, let's discuss a little bit about the whole LayerX ecosystem structure. The LayerX team are looking to turn the LayerX ecosystem into the, and I mean the, Web3 development hub. Returning viewers of this channel will already understand the concept that I gave to you in my Web3 toolbox video. The TLDR is that each of the products within the LayerX ecosystem, in some way or another, transition clients of one product into another. They are all embedded within one another. Even more so with the evolution of the TAIKAI product, with the release of the TAIKAI Garden, embedding the Bepro Network product into it itself, the feedback loop within the LayerX ecosystem will be unprecedented. And to touch on the TAIKAI product, the performance of the TAIKAI product, despite the current market conditions, has been astounding, okay? Some of the connections they are able to make and the partnerships they've been able to achieve during this phase of the market is truly mind-blowing. The TAIKAI product is a much better fit for this phase of the market than the Bepro Network product is. But we have to remember, each product individually solves a different problem. The larger the client base that the TAIKAI product will be able to build up, the more clients that will be able to be transitioned into the Bepro Network product. Please do not hesitate to learn more about how the TAIKAI Garden will work and how they plan on transitioning the projects from the hackathon into the TAIKAI Garden to be then pushed into the direction of the Bepro Network product. So let's quickly take a look at some of the connections I was referring to about the TAIKAI product and the LayerX ecosystem as a whole. First, head on over to the TAIKAI product. If we sort by most recent, and here you will see all of the recent hackathons that they've been able to close for the TAIKAI product. A quick note, when I said that the LayerX ecosystem was looking to be the global Web3 development hub, this is exactly some of the examples I mean. This ETH Safari hackathon will be happening in Kenya. This one is a private hackathon with $24,000 as a reward. However, I can't see who the clients are, so you can only imagine who they are. This ETH Accra is happening in Ghana. So we're on the African continent. These guys are already conquering the European continent with ties to the European Commission. This hackathon here, ETH Chicago, which is happening very soon, is obviously happening America. So that's another continent they're looking to expand into. This Iathon hackathon here has some very, very interesting clients. If we take a look who is co-hosting the event, you will see that it is no one other than Base. If you're unfamiliar with Base, then let me show you. Build on Base is a new Ethereum L2 incubated by no one else than Coinbase. Some seriously large names. As well as a recent LayerX talks hosted on the LayerX Twitter page. Recently, they were joined with Linear Build, which is powered by Consensus, who I'm sure many of you are already very familiar with. These are industry-leading players within the space, and the LayerX team are able to consistently be able to create business ties with the largest up-and-coming industry players within the crypto space. And I have no doubt in my mind the team will be able to keep continuing their success with closing partnerships with the biggest players in the market. But with all of these great partnerships and business ties that the LayerX ecosystem has been acquiring during this quiet phase of the market, it's important to remember that the LayerX team are laying the groundwork for mass adoption once the massive wave of demand for Web3 integration and development happens to the wider market. You're starting to see it now with some of the largest players within the traditional Web2 space starting to dip their toes into integrating Web3 based functionalities into their products, like Nike with their unveiling of the Swoosh NFT platform that they have, and to name a few others like Sony, Samsung, Mercedes-Benz, who, by the way, have had a hackathon with TAIKAI product within the LayerX ecosystem. So that's quite interesting. And so many more. All of these larger industry players are looking to get involved within Web3. There are a few eyes from the Web2 industry leading players looking to integrate Web3 functionalities into their products. And the LayerX ecosystem will be the place to do exactly that. Once the mass market interest of the crypto space returns, it will be glorious for the LayerX ecosystem, especially BEPRO Network. The BEPRO Network product is perfect for this exact scenario. So before we take a little look at the price of the BEPRO token, before we make our closing remarks, let's look at this from a pragmatic view. We have a company that is not only expanding their team rapidly, they are also growing their client list at an exponential rate. They are increasing their overall global reach in terms of what countries they are actually involved with working in, but they are also garnering attention from industry-leading players within the exact space they are looking to become industry-leading players themselves. And when you take into account that one of the tokens in the ecosystem isn't even out, and the other token that is already out is getting near some all-time low prices, would you say there is a problem with the product, or there is a problem with the market? I'll leave that one for you to decide with the information that I've just given you. So now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take a look at the BEPRO price. So let's not waste any time. The current price of the BEPRO token is 0005. It's already below the more recent market cycle low in January of this year. And when you take a look at the Bitcoin chart, we are at market cycle lows right now for BEPRO. But it is the same with many, many other tokens as well. Look at Bitcoin. That has gotten completely crushed. They are starting to gain on some new all-time lows. It's not just BEPRO, it's the entire market that is sick. Regardless of the actual price of the token, I'm going to give you my personal theory on an idea on how to gauge the relative strength of the BEPRO token compared to its past price history. And it's not just as simple as the price on the chart. As I discussed in one of my more recent videos, it's really important that you take into account the market cap of the token at certain dates. BEPRO is in the very fortunate position that all of our token supply is fully unlocked. But back here and back here, not all the tokens were unlocked. So the actual market cap that we would need to be to return to these all-time high prices or all-time low prices is not the same as what it was before. I'll give you an example here. If we look here, the price all-time low for BEPRO is around 0.0035. If we head on over to CoinGecko and we search for our beloved BEPRO, if we change the chart to show the market cap of the project instead, you will see it'll look a little different. If we match up the price all-time low, which occurred in December of 2020, here to the market cap December of 2020, you will see that we were at a market cap of $650,000. An interesting point is that if you take the all-time low price of the BEPRO token and you times it by the current unlocked supply, which is the full supply, that being 10 billion, you will notice that we get a vastly different market cap of $3.5 million. So as you can see, the market cap difference from the all-time low of the price of the BEPRO token, that being 650,000, is vastly smaller than the 3.5 million it would be if we went to those prices today. So if we tie the overall strength of the project to the market cap size of the project, you will see, even if we were to go to these all-time low prices for BEPRO, which is another 36% drop to these all-time lows, you will note that the overall strength of the project is still well over 5 times that it was back here in terms of market cap. If we were to go to a market cap all-time low, we would need to go all the way down here just to be at the same strength as we was back here. Can you see the point I'm trying to make here? It's really important that you do not get discouraged by the actual price action of the token, because even if we go to these all-time low prices, it is not the same as it was back here at all. We are still way stronger than we were before. If we tie this theory back into the pragmatic outlook I gave on the LayerX ecosystem, it is really a blessing in disguise if we even get close to these all-time low prices, let alone to all-time low market cap. Personally, I really cannot see a world where we reach these all-time low market caps. There is potential we could reach all-time low price for the BEPRO token, which I am personally slightly hoping for, because as I discussed in my BTC halving video, the opportunity would be absolutely life-changing. But there's not even any point in discussing these all-time low prices, because that is ridiculous. Like something down here, look, the numbers are stupid. The numbers are completely crazy. So we won't even go into that. And hopefully this really puts it into perspective of the overall strength of the BEPRO project, despite what the price action may be telling you. We understand that the market is sick. The LayerX ecosystem is growing at an unprecedented rate with the connections and business ties that the team are being able to achieve during this phase of the market. The BEPRO product will absolutely shine once the interest in the crypto market returns, and you have all of these up-and-coming projects looking to outsource their development and hire talent from all across the globe. The LayerX ecosystem will be the global Web3 development hub, and the Bepro Network product is an integral part in achieving that vision. The time is ticking for the Bitcoin halving and the unprecedented impact it will have on the crypto market. If history is any indication, we don't have too much longer left before we see the mass return of interest within the crypto space and another glorious bull run where Bepro will shine in all its glory. If you'd like to learn more about the Bitcoin halving's impact on the overall crypto space and what's some of the price opportunities that we could see within the Bepro token before the Bitcoin halving, then please don't hesitate to take a look at my Bitcoin halving video. I'm sure many of you will have a lot of questions about some of the topics that I've covered. If you have any sort of doubts, or maybe you even disagree with my investment thesis and my investment outlook towards the LayerX ecosystem and the potential it has coming forward into the Bitcoin halving and the upcoming bull run, then please do not hesitate to leave them in the comments. Like I said, today's sponsor of the channel is this channel itself. So if you enjoyed today's video and you found some of the information, some of the ideas I put forward to you useful, make sure you follow the channel, leave some love in the comments, and take a look at some of my other content. Make sure you keep up to date with all the official announcements regarding the LayerX ecosystem and its individual products by following the relevant socials, which I will include in the description. And make sure you try and attend the upcoming monthly community call within the LayerX Discord channel. And you stay tuned for my LayerX Rapid Fire News Roundup on the official LayerX channel. And with that, I'll see you in the next one, LayerX Bulls.